Hey guys, did you know that I have a Patreon where you can support me and plus get awesome rewards? Or if you're thinking to yourself, but Julian, I want even more bang for my buck while still supporting you, you can pop over to my Redbubble and check out my awesome store with new designs appearing regularly. But for now, enjoy the video you're about to watch. Hey guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke. Today I'm here to do a video that exactly 0 people, possibly negative numbers of people, even thought they would ever want. And I didn't know that I was going to do this, and it's late at night on a work night, and yet here I am. The other day I picked up Frozen to watch while I was working on commissions, and watching it again made me really angry. But why? Why was I so angry at this reasonably harmless Disney movie? Well, it's because it does a pretty good job of telling a story in most of the aspects, except for one place where it catastrophically failed. And I have a way that would fix it so easily, and it's driving me crazy. So if I don't share it with you all, it's just gonna keep eating away at my brain like a worm in an apple. And that thing is Hans. Hans and his surprise villainy at the end. Now, I don't know what it is with Disney lately. I don't know if, they're being blackmailed by surprise villains, but they've been pretty obsessed with that recently. And I can't remember if Hans is the first one, but he definitely, I think, started the trend or really got the trend rolling, which is too bad because he's also arguably the worst one. With villains like Mayor Bellwether, when they become villains, you can look back and go, oh yeah, their actions made sense. I totally buy it. But with Hans? No, it definitely felt like he got through most of the movie before his sudden villain twist. So I decided that I would make a very, very easy fix to his story that would have kept the story almost exactly the same, but would have eliminated his super awkward villainy-ness. So let's just go through it, cause I have nothing better to do, clearly. We're just gonna go through the story of Frozen, the Hans version, and I won't be able to play you any of the audio because I don't want Disney to come after me, and they might still come after me for showing the clips because they can do that. So we'll see. We will see how this goes if this immediately gets taken down. So what is Hans's story? Well, we know that he comes from another kingdom and that he has 12 older brothers, which pretty much doesn't get him anywhere near the throne. So someone could make the argument that that would cause him to covet after Arendelle. But for our narrative, let's just say, as we've been given no evidence that he covets after Arendelle, that he's just here maybe to get away from his family. Hell, maybe he's hoping for that chance to find true love that Anna was just singing about. So he goes to Arendelle, and who does he run into but Anna, one of the princesses? And quite frankly, he is charmed by her. She is charming, he is charming, everyone is charming. And here is the first narrative cheat that Disney uses. Some people have rightly pointed out that after Anna has turned her back when Hans is in the water, he still gives this smile. There's no one around to see this smile. There is no reason for him to have this smile, except for to fool the audience into thinking that he actually fancies Anna. So in our narrative, he does. Then later that night, he lays on the charm as he meets Anna and dances with her at her sister's coronation party. And the two of them, they talk, they sing, they get on like a house on fire. And of course, being impulsive young people, they decide marriage is a thing that we should definitely do, even though we've only known each other for a night. Not because Hans is evil and trying to get his hands on the throne, but because he is an impulsive young person, just like Anna. Then shit for Hans takes an unexpected turn. One minute Anna is trying to convince her sister, the queen, that Anna and Hans should get married, and the next minute the queen suddenly has magic ice powers and she's blasting ice crystals everywhere and it's scary as shit. And her sister's trying to chase after her and Hans is chasing after Anna. Elsa escapes across a river that she freezes and Hans manages to stop Anna. For the moment. But it doesn't last very long because Anna is determined to go after her sister and Hans is determined to help her. Not because he has any ulterior motive, but because he's a genuinely good person. She leaves him in charge of her entire kingdom, which, let's admit, is a really risky fucking move. She's only known this man for a day. And just because somebody is sweet and finishes your sandwiches doesn't mean he would be the best person to run your kingdom. However, lucky for Anna, Hans turns out to be exactly the perfect person to run her kingdom in her absence. He's going all over, he's talking to the people, he's passing out blankets. If he was just this guy trying to steal her kingdom, yes, he could do this to try to ingratiate himself to the people, but he wouldn't even have to. And then, when Anna's horse comes back without her on it, he immediately launches a rescue party. If he was trying to claim this kingdom as his own, why wouldn't he stay in it, keep ingratiating himself to the people? These people barely know their queen and their princess. They would probably have more attachment to this blanket man than they had to their own queen and princess at this point. But hey, maybe he is doing it because he wants to ingratiate himself to the people and look good. Of course, in our narrative, it is because he is a genuinely good person. So he rides out with some men and he finds this ice castle. And as he approaches it, he is attacked by a magical creature, which he has no choice but to attempt to fight off. Now, can I mention that before they even go into the castle, Hans tells his people not to harm the queen. If he was trying to steal her kingdom, why would he give explicit orders that she should not be harmed? Suddenly there's a snow monster, he has to fight it, he sees two men going after the queen and they have pretty murdery intent, he can already tell. So he manages to get past the snow monster, almost dying in the process. He literally almost dies, but the fucker, he keeps going, and he gets to where the queen is, and he walks in on this scene, which has gotta be terrifying, and still, he saves her life. Like I keep saying, if he was trying to steal her kingdom, why would he do any of this? He tries to convince her to get rid of the winter that is holding her kingdom. Meanwhile, he's also worried about Anna. Where is she? She hasn't returned. But unfortunately, Elsa lets Hans know that she doesn't know how to end the winter. And Hans has the realization that he might be in charge of this kingdom. And this kingdom is screwed. Then, before you know it, his princess returns, and this is where my story is finally going to differ from the original story. Anna is rushed into the room. Hans goes to greet her. She says that they have to kiss, and he immediately, lays her down on the settee, and he kisses her. And nothing happens, because they don't have true love. They've known each other for a day. Hans is dismayed. He's not saving her life. She's dying before his eyes. He has to end this winter right now, and the only way to do it is to kill the queen. She can't end it. He has to do something. He has to save this kingdom and possibly Anna. A big theme in this movie is fear, and at this point Hans would be very afraid that he is in a situation that he has no way of being prepared for. And so he does the only thing that he thinks is right. He's going to have to kill Elsa. But when he returns to her cell, she's gone. He sets out across the ice to find her. Meanwhile, Anna, whom he has left in a room with a fire crackling, he's probably piled her up with blankets, she's very snug. Now that she's figured out that Hans is not her true love, she wants to get back to Kristoff, who, conveniently, a snowman has reminded her exists. So she gets out and goes out onto the ice as well. Hans finds Elsa and informs her that her sister is dying, is very close to death, and unfortunately the only way to save her is for him to kill Elsa. Now maybe Elsa fights back, or maybe she just collapses on the ground and accepts that to save her sister she's going to have to die. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's Anna stepping in between. Hans lowers his sword and then gets blasted back by the power of true love or whatever. When he finally comes to, he's randomly on a boat with the queen and princess there. And just as some random blonde ice-cutting guy is gonna come punch him in the face, Anna steps in because she has seen what a good person he is and is willing to talk to him about this whole swinging a sword at her sister thing. Hans explains himself and what a horrible situation he was in and how he was only doing what he thought was the one thing that would save the kingdom and Anna's life. And Anna's like, that's fair, you need to leave our kingdom, but yeah, I totally understand where you were coming from. And so Hans is not thrown in the brig and he leaves the kingdom, and the movie is essentially exactly the same, except for it doesn't have a poorly written surprise villain popping out of nowhere. And there you go, you guys. This is my how I would fix Hans in Frozen, a very, very simple fix that I'm sure everyone has thought of except apparently Disney. What did you guys think of my insane late night ramblings? Should I just go to bed, or was this something worth listening to? Does anyone out there, all 3 people who watch this, think that I should try to fix more movies or books or something? Or should I just leave this be a one-time weird thing that happened? Comment below and let me know. And don't worry guys, I'll be posting more normal things next time. Don't forget that I post new videos Mondays and Fridays. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking. And if you were confused by what you saw here, well, I have a lot of videos in my video repertoire, so go check out the rest of my channel and see if there's anything that you like. And I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! What's up, everybody? It is shout out time. Time to shout out to my very first patron, Kim. And if you want to be cool like Kim, become a patron over on Patreon.